Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Amateur Dota League Dota Legends cast. My name's Duke, and joining me as always is Sick. How are you doing, man?
Hello, and finally we get this cast going, so I'm pretty well, of course, and I'm looking forward to this game, of course, so let's see what's this up to.
Well, tonight we have XPC International playing up against Skarmory. Skarmory have won their first game in this league, and I've got to say, I haven't seen them before. They played a game which we weren't able to cast, but the game which we saw at XPC, it was a little bit shaky coming out of them. Spartan was able to pull off some nice sort of moves on him. Relax played a really nice carry, but they didn't have enough to sort of power it through.
Dire team ban.
But I'm going to be really interested to see what they pull out in this game.
Really interesting to see if they got some new strategies up. They saw that their old things didn't work out, or if they just perfected their strategies and are now very confident to play through this. We're gonna see through the draft and see how they develop through this game. And of course, it's the best of 3, so you always have that second chance of coming back.
Oh, definitely.
Dire team ban.
I have to say that XPC banning out the Treant when it was Spartan that took it up in the first game of their previous series, it didn't quite work out all too well for them. So maybe they just don't want to even risk it. It's a very, very strong hero. We have spoken about it quite extensively in our previous casts, with the fact his ultimate is very, very similar to like the effect of a Ravage, but with half of the cooldown.
Oh yeah, certainly. And always that it penetrates the BKB is remaining. Always a very valuable tool to control the team fights, of course, here. And we see that usual bans coming out with the Panda, with the Ember and the Bed Rider. I'm quite surprised we don't see that Mirana ban, so they're maybe looking into picking it. But we're gonna see if they develop some strategies. We actually have a Lycan coming out of the first pick. It's always a very strong pick if you know how to play around him, and these teams are certainly good enough to play around him.
We've actually been seeing this quite a lot, and I think it was LD that tweeted out that most Chinese team will ban out Lycan if they're up against the Dire. 100%. They would just refuse to play up against a Lycan if it's on the Dire team.
10 seconds remaining.
Yes, and that certainly makes sense, because that Roshan access you have from the Dire side, of course, it always helps you out sneaking in there with the smoke. You don't have to run through the river. It's really hard to spot you with wards, of course, and it's a very dangerous pick, of course, but of course there's more to the game than just getting the Roshan, but we'll see how this works out.
Oh yeah, definitely. And we really could be setting up for a Mirana pick here. Last time we did have Relax taking up the Mirana in one of their games, and with the Shadow Demon pairing, that is a terrifying prospect. With the catcher, with the extra damage that you get on the sort of the range, the distance travelled on the arrow, it really can. And there we go. There's really no two ways about it. We're gonna get the Mirana in this situation. Such a strong hero, and really couples up well with the Shadow Demon.
Yes, and especially in that early game, you have the Mirana using that arrow to utilize the space to walk into some fights, maybe hit a far arrow and stun for 5 seconds. Of course, having that damage output always a huge danger. You always have to look out around you, and even from behind there can come an arrow. So even without the Shadow Demon setup, you still have to be super scared about what's gonna happen if there's a gank incoming. And then later, in the later stages of the game, we have that very viable Moonlight Shadow, which gives a lot to your team, just surprising enemy and catching them off guard everywhere.
Yeah, we definitely saw it in our own tournament on actually yesterday evening with the support Mirana. The amount of arrows that he landed, the one in mid lane where he landed onto the Dazzle, straight into the Sunstrike and Fisher, and the Dazzle never got off a single spell. He was just dead, just from this sort of long range artillery that was coming out of the Northern Lion team.
Oh, definitely, and they really capitalized on it, because this Dazzle is such a great team fighting tool, and if you take him out, of course, it's great. But in this game, we do not have a Dazzle so far, so
10 seconds remaining.
We're gonna see if there's some dangerous, maybe a little bit not that tanky hero in the middle that really suffers from Mirana arrows. If you have a panda, for example, if he gets arrowed, there's so much with that dodge chance and everything he has up, it's really hard to bring him down. But if there's, for example, a Shadow Fiend, you really have to struggle against these arrows. And if you get a smoke gank in from that Shadow Demon with the Mirana, if the Mirana is played as a support in this situation, then it's gonna be really dangerous.
Radiant team
Yeah,
pick.
definitely agree with you. And something we've actually been seeing a lot against Lycans, just pick up the Timbersaw. Are we going to see that here? If we look at the lane so far for Skarmory, they've got a Lycan Ancient Apparition. Where is the lockdown for a Timbersaw?
Yeah, so far we do not have such things. So we're gonna look into some more stun efficient lineup for now. I guess something that is that has a great initiating tool in the mid lane, something like a puck. For Skarmory here,
Dire team pick.
because they really want to make something happen without the Lycan. You want to have him farming up his Vladimirs, farm his BKB or whatever he needs, the Necronomicon, and then you leave him to the lane and he pushes away, and you just have to make something happen with the rest 4 people of your team. And if you have something like Doom, Puck, and Ancient Apparition, there's certainly this power behind the team that can make something happen without the Lycan being there in this situation. Then.
Yeah, definitely. And we were looking at a way to potentially shut down a Timbersaw, and you do have it with the Doom. If he can just get his levels... Oh, wow, the combo. Wow, this combination for XPC is coming out in absolute force.
I actually I like the pickup of both heroes. They're really great to cast because there's so much action happening. But as a team, you limit yourself to cooldowns. Now you depend on these cooldowns. If that Black Hole, Tidehunter, Ravage, something is not up, then you cannot really take a fight, because Doom is gonna take out one hero eventually at some point. And then you have like one hero left that can make this team fight initiation ulti. And if that cooldown is out, it's on Skarmory's side to create the pressure and go wherever they want. And that's really dangerous with that draft. So if you do not execute a really great fight with your team fight ultis, you can struggle really hard by your own picks. But if you execute it right, of course, then you have that big window where you just team wipe your other team and you can push into the base. So it's really interesting if they can make the right moves and work this out perfectly with that high cooldowns.
Oh, definitely. It really does sort of limit what you're able to do. Obviously, because you've got to play careful around. Obviously, you've got the Doom, you've got the Global Silence. Both of these skills go through the BKB. They're very, very dangerous very much for the Enigma. Obviously, Tidehunter, if he's able to get in and Ravage, that's the end of the story. But if the Doom or Silencer isn't caught in the initial Ravage and then isn't caught in the Black Hole, the Black Hole's being cancelled, 100%.
Oh yeah, that's certain. And we've seen it in the past that a lot of silencers actually wait with their global silence until Enigma casts that Black Hole. But by just having the Black Hole up and not using it, you annulate another silencer ulti. So the silencer is waiting all the time. We've seen that a lot, that the silencer waits too long and his team just dies off to the spell power of the rest of the heroes. And you really have to find a balance. When do I use that silencer ulti? Is it really worth it waiting for the Enigma to jump in using his Black Hole, or do you want to silence and take down the Tidehunter first? That's small questions that are very interesting for your team, and you have to make good calls on what you use now and what you save up for that Black Hole.
And they wanted to get rid of even more silence, banning out the Disruptor. They don't want that Static Storm just sort of coming in their house and sort of really ruining their time. And even if it's not just the Static Storm capability, the Glimpse does just so much against these heroes.
10 seconds remaining.
You can have Rada with the Leap. Tidehunter and Enigma both want a Blink Dagger.
5 seconds
they would use
remaining.
these skills to escape, and the Glimpse would absolutely absolutely ruin their day. They just wouldn't be able to escape in absolutely any situation.
The question is, would you prefer a Rubik ban in this situation? Because basically whatever he steals, it cannot be bad right now. There is not a single spell that would be super bad. Even the Midnight Pulse from the Enigma, since it's buffed, it's a really good skill here, and this Rubik could steal like basically all skills, and every of these skills would be good. So I don't know if you value the Disruptor, Glimpse / Static Storm higher than the Rubik that can be able to steal everything. We'll see how this works out.
What are you looking at for the laning of this? And is this going to be will this be a Tidehunter off lane or a Tidehunter in the mid?
Depends. I think it hardly depends on the last pick of the Skarmory of Skarmory here, because if they get a Doom middle or a Lycan middle, you can send this Tidehunter middle and be certain he's gonna win this lane, or at least get a lot of farm and experience up. But if they pick something like a Puck here now in this situation, then this Tidehunter would struggle so hard that they actually had to get another mid hero and have to move the Tide to the off lane. So it all depends on that last pick of the of Team Skarmory right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, XPC with their obviously picking their last hero first, they have to sort of play this a bit more cautiously. If they want to send the Tidehunter up against the Doom or Lycan, they're going to need to sort of pick a hero which can go in either off lane or mid. So I actually think XPC picking up the Puck would be extremely effective. And they're going to go with a Skywrath Mage.
Dire team pick.
They leave their lanes open so they can switch it around as much as they want. Now they can send like even the Mirana mid if they need to. And I like this. They have a very viable draft that can work around in different scenarios. Because they did not have that last pick, and yes, Rubik coming out as a last pick. So I think we might see a Doom, or actually we might see a Silencer in mid, yes. I think a Silencer in mid, and Tidehunter against Silencer can work out, but it's really hard to play.
Yep, definitely. Obviously, because you don't want to use that sort of the curse of the silent on the Tidehunter. He'll just use that Anchor Smash. Very low mana cost, 30 at level 1. So that would no problems there for him. And actually, I think this is going to be a mid Mirana, and we're actually going to see a carry Tidehunter. We do have Relax taking up that Tidehunter role, and he was the carry player we did see in the previous games. And that's not a hero.
Prepare for battle.
Actually, where are these lanes going?
I think the Tidehunter is going mid right now. With that Stealth Shield being picked up, he can stand against the Skywrath, against the Silencer for quite a while. But yes, it's a very tanky hero, and you're certainly really good against melee heroes. Against the Silencer, we're gonna see how it works out. Depends on the player's skill, of course, in this situation as well. But I think this Silencer might have an edge here, especially with that Null Talisman early being picked up. So let's get on and introduce the teams.
Yep, so for the side of XPC, on the bottom lane, we are going to have the Enigma being played up by Spartan, rushing that Soul Ring and just going to get a fast blink, fast mechanism, whatever he really needs to help his team. In the mid, we have Relax on the Tidehunter,
30 seconds
going for that early bottle. On the Mirana, we have Maybe Next Time. It's sort of the perfect name for a Mirana player, really, isn't it? Maybe next time I'll hit that arrow.
Oh yeah, certainly well placed name there.
And we have ILL onto the Shadow Demon and Yoko onto the Skywrath Mage. So quickly jumping over to Skarmory, we have Ubi onto the Ancient Apparition, Dole onto the Rubik.
The battle begins.
We have Frock Snack onto the Lycan. These names are not very kind for you. We have Ninja Pigeon onto the Silencer, and last but not least, we do have Lao Wai.
I think it's an I. I'm not too sure, but
I think that's an L. Was it?
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's definitely an L.
Okay, I wasn't too certain.
Lao Wei.
Okay.
We're going to see an aggressive tri lane, but it's already scouted out by this ward, and the Shadow Demon with the haste has been seen as well, so they need to be careful of this.
And we see level 1 curse on the Silencer, and I do not really agree on that against the Tidehunter, because with that Anchor Smash you can always just immediately get rid of it. And I think you could maybe go even for the Glaives of Wisdom. It's not that strong of a spell level 1, but you have that constant secured last hits for sure, and you can just, you know, go out of the mid as a winning farmer. I think it would have worked out a little bit better, but overall it's his choice. Oh, okay, if he does use his Anchor Smash, of course, then yeah. See,
actually, they did a lot of damage onto the Skywrath Mage. They're going to bring him closer. Chilling Touch is doing a lot of damage, but they actually might be able to just hit the Ancient Apparition. The arrow is going to go out way too late. Not actually going to be able to catch the Rubik. Now the Lycan's in with the Howl on him. He's actually doing a lot of damage. Got a lot of armor up on him. The Skywrath Mage coming back in with the Salve, so he's healing up. Now the Ancient Apparition is trying to get back in the house. There's no Chilling Touch. Just one charge left on the Rubik, but the Lycan's being pushed back into the lane. Now just being harassed down by the Mirana. Actually, they're still going for the Skywrath Mage. This Rubik actually needs to be quite careful. And actually, they're going to take out this Observer Ward, and this is going to really help sort of lane, sort of the rotations coming out of them.
Yeah, certainly. It denies the rune vision. It
Actually, they might be able to catch the Skywrath here. If they only had one more stun, they got a Chilling Touch in 1 second, but Skywrath Mage 325 movement speed. That is absolutely impossible for these 290, 295 to be able to catch up with.
Oh yeah, certainly. But we have that problem for the Tidehunter right now. He does not have rune vision at all anymore, and he cannot see incoming ganks from the top lane, and so he has to rely on that miss calls. And if there's a miss call for support that's pulling creeps or pulling neutrals, this Shadow Demon is a little bit of danger there. But never mind, Rubik was not close enough for a lift. But yeah, if they go for a pull and they're called miss, this Tidehunter has to be careful, and it just gives that pressure that you always have to be careful, and you cannot really go over the river and feel ready to farm against that silencer if there is a missing support, of course.
On this bottom lane, we are seeing just why Enigma is such a painful laner. Currently sitting at 12 for 13, Doom is sitting 4-0.
Especially with 0 armor on Doom at the start of the game, of course, with that conversions to deal quite a lot of damage.
Yeah, we've spoken quite extensively about the sort of the benefits of picking up that Ring of Protection very early on a Doom.
Yeah, now he reached level 4, so he has like 1 armor up, which helps him out a little bit. But actually, he's gonna.
Likely to die here if he gets one more hit of a nice streak around the trees. There is a lot of movement speed up onto the Doom, and he's just going to be able to chase him down. No boots up on the Enigma. They keep trying to juke around the trees. Actually, first blood goes down onto the Lycan, picked up by the Skyra, and Doom was still juking him around the trees. He immediately had Malthus back up.
Yes, that was a long chase, but it was really worth it for Doom to come back into this lane. And with that first blood being picked up on top lane, they really need to win that bottom lane now, because if they fall behind on 2 lanes, then it's really going to be a hard situation going into the mid game.
Oh yeah, definitely. And he's looking to pick up a Centaur right now, and that's really going to help with his experience. He's already halfway to level 6, while the Enigma just sitting shy of level 5. Actually, they're going up on top. They get a lift up onto the Skyra. The Chilling Touch is there, but there's no block. The Cold Feet is not able to latch, and just that disruption just is enough to be able to keep them back. There was no Fade Bolt thrown out by the Rubik. And now we just got the Arcane Bolt. The Arcane Bolt just being thrown out there with harassment. Such a short cooldown for that spell.
The big problem about that Skywrath Mage being able to spam is that you're always going to have some mana issues, of course. But I think overall it's a really great support. With that silence, you can pick it up quite early if you want to, and if you have heroes that it matters against. But now we're going to see a smoke up going right into the mid to bring down that silencer, who is a little bit ahead experience wise, I think, because this Tide is constantly stacking. He's level 6 and the Tide is 5.5, but Tide is a little bit ahead in the creep score, so I think that plays out quite well. But with the global silence up, this gank's gonna be really hard, especially with the D room picked up by that silencer, and he's not yet deciding to throw that global silence.
Yeah, and I think that was a big mistake from him. Although, yeah, it's a long cooldown, but he just gave the Tidehunter almost level 6, gave him some time in the lane 3. The bottle's going to be coming back. The Mirana's actually going to get caught. Actually, no, the leaf away is going to be enough for him. And the Enigma is still 21 denies on this Enigma. Yeah, and the Doom is sort of out-leveling him, but mainly due to the kill. But imagine what this would be like if he didn't get that kill. This lane would just be absolutely dominated by this Enigma.
Oh yeah, certainly, and this Enigma is farming as much as he can, but this death of course hurt him quite badly in that situation. But we do not see that much happening top anymore. The lane just came down a little bit. We have an Observer Ward placed right on top of the sentry there, so it's not gonna last that long.
Now we have a smoke out from the Rubik and H-Down Apparition, but versus the Tidehunter, who has Ravage, they really can't do anything. Actually, no, they're going to need to pop the Ravage, and so there's a nice choice of direction for the Tidehunter to walk. He's about to get up onto the high ground, pop that regen rune. He's going to get his health back, and he's actually just going to be able to walk into this. Maybe Curse of Silent to bring it, pop it. No. So he's now back up to full health. He's got his Arcane Boots as well. Pop the Ravage for that, but that's what the Silencer, I feel, needed to do.
Yes,
There was
exactly.
no hesitation. Tidehunter, right, I need to live.
Yes, just pop your ulti in this situation. You do not really have that gankable card targets right now anyways on the other side. Like this Lycan's just gonna pop ulti when he's getting
Dire's
engaged.
bottom tower
And
is
we
under
have
attack.
the Doom on the bottom who can live through with Scorched Earth. And yes, maybe you can pick off the Silencer and mid with that Ravage, but you can just get away yourself and get a faster dagger, especially with that Ancient Camps up. So I think that decision of using the Ravage defensively to just get out of there with a region rune right after, so you don't even lose some experience there, I think it was a really nice decision and worked out quite great for him.
Tidehunter's actually going to die, may die to neutral, actually is able to walk away quick enough. But the thing is, he's going to get a lot of gold off that, and this has got, like, he's only 5 last hits behind the Silencer. But
yeah,
he
certainly.
is, and this Ancient Stack is probably going to give him at least 2 levels.
We have some Rage ping come out there. They spotted each other on the top lane, but no one's really willing to
Yeah,
engage
the Shadow
yet.
Demon's moving close, but they know, they have to know the Silencer's moving up there. And
you
while the
still got-
Silencer's trying to rotate top, they're just, it's coming to farm, the Tidehunter's going to keep farming mid. The Enigma is still just pressuring bottom, getting these denies, getting these last hits.
He actually picked up power trees, and that's quite interesting on Enigma. You usually go for the arcane boots or even tranquil boots, but you do not usually see that power trees picked up on the Enigma. But it's a nice choice, especially against a lot of dot damage, that you have that little bit more of a life pool, which can help you out sometimes. So
It's called the carry Enigma.
yeah, true, but he's certainly not gonna go for a Radiance, is he?
Oh, come on.
Well, okay, I've seen things, but yes.
Radiance, Aghanims. Oh, and is he going to get the Black Hole? He's going to see if he's doing. Oh, all of the illusions did die, but they've got the Mirana in now. They're going to see if they're able to get enough damage just off the right clicks. He's going to get Doom. The Starfall's going to come out. The extra hit did not hit on the Doom. He's getting all his health back from the Scorched Earth. The Enigma needs to be denied. He's being chased by the Rubik, trying to see if he can get one last hit off Fade Bolt in 1 second. And oh, the last Arcane Bolt was enough to do it. Now they're going to try and turn onto the Ancient Apparition. But that, I have to say, that was a big trade for them. If they were able to pick off the Enigma, that would have been absolute mass for them. And I have to disagree with the choice to go on Doom and maybe sort of time your Eidolons a little better. If he had had 6 Eidolons wailing away at the Doom with that low armor, easily would have been able to pick him off.
Yeah, but in this situation, I think it was the perfect timing for him to go. They didn't know the Mirana was on the bottom lane, and the creeps were pushing back towards the tier 1 tower from the Dire. So I think he had to do it anyways, and he couldn't wait for another convergence to pop up and, you know, multiplicate themselves. And in that situation, you just think, let's try, and if it doesn't work, okay, well, maybe we'll get another kill from a TP in, or we can just evacuate to safety, and it's worth the try. I think it's better trying than sitting on the cooldown forever. So I don't mind trying.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you there. And I'm currently looking at this Roshan attempt from the Lycan. And this is why the Chinese just don't want to play against a Lycan if he's on Dire.
Yes, and I think the Radiant team, even if they are aware of it right now, we have a Ravage up now. It just went off cooldown, and we don't have that flare yet up, the Mystic Flare, and I think they cannot really take a fight here right now. Global Silence is down, of course, but we still have that Doom up again. We have the Lycan who can just transform himself into a big badass wolf. And in that situation, you cannot really control it. They're scouting it, yes, but I think they're not gonna contest it, since it's late anyways.
So his Lycan needs to be a bit careful. He's actually falling quite low. We'll still be able to pick it up, and that's going to really help him out. But meanwhile, all of these, like the Shadow Demon was actually getting levels in mid, so he's now got his level 6. The Skywrath is top getting levels there, so he's going to be hitting his 6 fairly soon. The Tidehunter was just killing the Ancients, and now he's actually 200 gold away from a full mechanism. The Enigma is actually going for a very, very quick BKB, and they're trying to go onto this Doom at the bottom. They're going to try and get him again. No, it's too fast with those phase boots plus the Scorched Earth. Enigma is just nowhere near be able to catch him up.
Yes, with that Roshan, of course, you get that advantage of getting 1000 extra gold, and we actually have a Moonlight Shadow coming in for this Doom. They really want to kill him right now, and are they able to though? I think he's just too fast for them. Oh, the Demonic Purge just popped, and with that gush and the actually a nice global silence to keep him alive, and now the TP support comes in and they want to go for that ravage, but the Doom is popped and
straight onto the Tide Hunter, and he needs to be. He's actually going to take so much damage from these wolves, and there's no way for him to escape right now. The wolves is going to be able to sort of wail down on him. He needs to get denied. No, Lycan crit is going to be able to bring him down. Lycan still got the ulti form for a few more seconds. Creep block on the Shadow Demon. He's going to be brought down by Lycan as well. Actually, Doom, what are you doing, my friend?
He just slightly overcommitted there and hoped for another kill, but still it was a really nice trade. They got the mid Tide Hunter and they got the Shadow Demon, and with the global silence, really nice reaction with the TPs coming in and you know the support. Meanwhile, the Enigma picked off the mid tower now and he's TPing in, and I think he's looking into a black hole, but they're splitting up really nicely, and with the silence and the curse he's gonna drop low on mana, so he needs to use the soul ring in order to use his black hole in that time, and if you use that soul ring you drop really low when you're on 500 HP already. So we see the Dire team evacuating to safety right now, and I think this situation is solved. Bottom tower drew a lot of HP down, of course, but the Skywrath Mage meantime is just getting up his level. He has a Mystic Flare up now, and he actually used it on someone.
Yeah, I think probably just harassment onto one of these heroes. But he's sitting on 1400 gold as well, so he's sitting quite tidily on that. Meanwhile, the Enigma obviously got his own club, nearly 1500 gold up on him, got a lot of gold off that tower kill, and they're going on to the Doom now, and they'll be able to pick him off very easily.
And that's 2 deaths for that Doom happening like in a matter of 1 minute, and that really paints his economy right now.
Ooh, this is really dangerous for the Enigma. He needs to be really careful, and a nice destruction from the Shadow Demon will keep him definitely alive. There's no contention there. The Tide Hunter is going absolutely ham into these heroes. We're going to see if we can able to pick up anything. We don't actually have any mana left in these heroes. We're going to throw out the Shadow Poisons, but only level 1, so he's not going to get any kills off of these.
Yeah, and the Ravage was popped there, so we have that Ravage going out without any benefit for the Radiant team, and that's usually not what you're aiming for, but again, I think trying is better than not trying.
Well, the thing is, what I have to say is, the fact that he just popped Ravage, there were 3 people around him, the Lycan is not split pushing or trying to farm.
Oh, that's true. And we had that Skywrath match, I think he picked up Arcane Boots right now. Oh, I just
yeah, the Skywrath got his Arcane Boots, so 900 mana up on him. So he's going to be able to get off his Mystic Flare, he's going to be able to spam off the Arcane Bolt. And the Ancient Seal, which he has taken, which is maxed. So he's got a 6-second silence with a 45% magic resistance reduction.
Yes, I certainly like that skill build, having that high amount of silence, but we're gonna see an engagement on the bottom lane right now. And there's 4 heroes waiting here for the for the Radiant, and the Mystic Flare actually does not hit because of the stun with the arrow, but they just trade 2 for nothing there, and they don't they get the top tower for it most likely if we don't have some TP support coming in there, but that's really costly. Like, this Doom died 3 times in a row now in a matter of 2 minutes, and that's really painful. Yes, you have that Devourer, and you can farm up quite fast, and we actually have a double Bloody Mirrors on Dire.
Yeah, I was going to say, we've got Romulus obviously on the Doom as well as the Lycan. The Shadow Demon is going to come up here, use that Shadow Poison to try and push out the wave. The Shadow Demon has got a 4-staff. There's just such an incredible amount of farm coming out for the Radiant heroes.
Oh, we have a brave TP in by that Doom, and he's gonna suffer right again. And that's just really getting ridiculous for him right now.
And now they're going to be able to take this next tower because the Silencer can't come close. They have to put 1 Curse and Silent maybe on these heroes. But what else is he going to do? The Doom is dead, there's no Doom. Obviously the Global Silence is up, but that's really not going to do enough. And they're just going to go on to him as well. The Tide Hunter may fall from the Ice Blast. Actually, he's going to be able to live as well.
Yeah, the Titans as well to tanky right now to fall to that matter. And
look, this is where the Lycan is. He's not harassing this tier 2. He went back into the jungle and started trying to farm that, and then moved back into the lane. So they've just taken a tier 1 and a tier 2, and I think 2 kills on the Doom and a Silencer for what? A tier 1? I don't think that's worth it.
No, it's certainly not worth it, and I think they're really struggle finding the space they wanted to create with that 4 heroes for the Lycan to push through, because Lycan saw the Moonlight Shadow going off and he was really scared, so he walked right back to the jungle and farmed up and wanted to see where the Radiant heroes is. Meanwhile the Radiant just went through into the tower and killed the Doom, so he went back on the lane, but that's too late already, because then the tower was falling and he couldn't really connect to that tower fast enough in order to bring it down. And that really makes some big space for the Radiant team. With all their ultimates, they can farm up some daggers now maybe, or find whatever they want there, and BKB up on the Enigma, and it's really getting dangerous here for Scar.
Oh yeah, definitely. With the Lycan, he didn't put any use for his Aegis. He didn't sort of try to do a suicide push or a suicide at tier 2, and obviously use that ultimate form just to be able to escape. He really didn't achieve much of that Roshan. Short of actually just getting the golden experience, which, when you look at the experience graph, it really hasn't helped them all that much.
Yes, and with the Aegis not being used, of course you have that region, but that's not the reason why you get an Aegis for, of course, and they couldn't really commit to something here in this situation, and the problem was having that Aegis not being able to use it, so they just, just get the experience and the gold. And of course that really helps you out, because they are quite far behind right now. They're over 7k, or let's say 6k
is under attack.
at least behind, and experience wise as well, it's like going into the favor of Radiant right now, and they really need to find something, a little pick off, or maybe get the Radiant team busy while the Lycan pushes 2 towers. They need something to get back into this game, but with that teamfight ultis both up, it's really hard to find that space now.
Tower is under attack.
Yep. We've got the Skarmory TP back into mid. They do have the Aegis for this. They're already TPing the Enigma straight into the middle of them. They need to throw out the Global Silence very, very quickly. They do have... I'm just going to throw the Ravage onto the Rubik. Just do not care about getting anyone else. You pick off the Rubik. There's no chance for a steal. They can get the Enigma in close. Silence onto the Silencer. This could be a big deal if they're able to get closer to him. There'll be no Global Silence coming out. Actually, they're just going to be able to pick off the Ancient Apparition. And that's 2. That is another kill up for the Skyrath Mage. And he's getting farmed as well. Like, he's going for that Rod of Atos with that Vitality booster. At the bottom lane, the Lycan and the Doom are trying to push. They're going to see if they can get a Doom onto Marana. Marana does leap away just in time.
Bottom tower
Going to have an arrow thrown out. It's going to skirt just over the face of the Doom. And they're just going to have to TP out, both the Lycan and the Doom.
And the Lycan sitting on level 11 and having Necrobook 1 doesn't really provide the push power you're looking to have on Lycan so far yet. You need some more items. You need to pile up that pushing power with that one hero, and right now they're really struggling to utilize that little space they create by dying in mid. It sounds weird, but if they get picked off with all that ultis in mid, Lycan gets some time to push out that bottom lane, of course, and he just does not provide the damage yet to just bring down the towers one and after another, and that's the big problem right now for Scar here.
Oh yeah, it's really difficult for them in this situation, because they wanted to split push and that works quite well up against this lineup, but they're quite hesitant about it. I think if this Lycan had sort of taken the initiative more, really gone forward with these pushes, I think they could have easily been on tier 3s right now. But now they're looking at a double blink dagger on both the Enigma and the Tidehunter. We've got a 4-star plus Vitality booster on the Shadow Demon. We have a Vitality booster plus Arcanes plus 900 gold up onto the Skyrath. The Mirana's is getting farmed all the way. Actually has a full Manta style as well.
Yeah,
so
that's certainly
really coming in force for all of these heroes on the Radiant.
And then that really makes it hard for Scar right now to take a fight, of course, with that teamfight ultis, and I think the Doom should have picked up a drums in that situation, because on the Lycan you need the Vladimirs, there's no way around it, and as a Doom you have the choice to go for drums or something different, what you think is also quite viable. And with having 2 Vladimirs, it's nice, of course, because these 2 will always be split up. They most likely will never fight together, because Lycan is there for that split pushing purpose, while the Doom is there for the team fighting purpose. But still, I think you could pick up something else. Overall, it's the call, of course, of the team, and if they say, okay, well, let's get 2 Vladimirs because we're never gonna stack up anyways, then it's fine in that situation. But I think drums would also help the team with having more movement speed, of course, with some attack speed. With that chilling touch always helps out. But yeah, it's just, you know, taste, I think.
I think the real issue right now is sort of the lack of mid game coming out of Skarmory. They don't have someone who can make a big play in the mid game. They don't have someone who just is effective based off levels rather than a level of farm. They do actually catch onto the Lycan. Science goes out to him, so he's going to get absolutely nuked down. The Ice Blast is actually not going to be able to hit on anyone. The level 1 Necrobrook is used. Tide Hunter picks up that easy little gold, and now they're going to be able to push this tier 2.
And so now they eliminated the threat of having that Lycan split pushing while you happily smash down the towers, and that's really gonna help out XPC International here, because they know there's nothing that can happen to us. There's a Doom split pushing at the bottom with the Vladimirs, and
bottom tower is under
but they
attack.
just need to send one hero down here to defend this
Dire's
tower,
top
and
tower
meanwhile the
has
Enigma is
fallen.
gonna wreak havoc on buildings with the conversion. And Doom actually wanted to Doom there on the Mirana.
And very nice sort of perception into what Doom wanted to sort of cast there, and just
Radiant's
quickly
bottom
leaping
tower
away.
is under attack.
Not even leaving it to chance, just go straight away. And just guarantee your life, really.
I think it would have been interesting if she you know, baited the Doom and then get some TP support by Enigma and Tide to make that Doom go to waste, and then go heal up in the fountain and push the base, because then Doom's obviously on cooldown. I think that would have been
Dire's
fun
middle
as well,
tower
but
is under attack.
taking the safe route, leaping away to safety is quite a nice call. Their Scout Out Roshan is up again, so with that Lycan being up, and if they defended their tower in the middle, then they might try to sneak up another Rosh, getting 1k more gold into their hands, of course. But right now the gold advantage is just way ahead, and they're really outclassing Skarmory. Is it Skarmory? I think it's Skarmory.
Yeah, Skarmory.
Yeah, they're outclassing Skarmory in this game, and with 12-3, which is not that much. I mean, 12 kills, yes, but you know, you're not looking at 35 kills, and you're sitting at a 12k gold lead, which really shows the potential of farming the map, and how you utilize what you can achieve on the map.
Yeah, they are really playing very, very well in utilizing every corner on the map. We've got a blink force up on the Shadow Demon. The Skyref has a full rod of Atos. The Enigma sitting on Blink, BKB, Tread, Soul Ring, and another 1500 gold. It's just absolutely abundance of farm up. Actually, all these heroes, they do actually sort of catch on to the Lycan, and now with the Ancient Apparition at the top. And they're going to see what other... Actually, no, they actually managed to pick off other heroes in the back. Skyrim was able to kill the Rubik.
Oh, beautiful black hole there.
Nice black hole.
That was really beautiful, and actually we have that Doom still chasing down this Gyroth mage, but with that Rod of Atos, he's like nowhere near getting him, and we have some TP support from the teammates after the fight, and now they're just 5v1 against this poor little Doom who didn't really have a chance catching up to the Skyroth mage in that situation. And this is close to GG. I think there's coming back into this game will be so freaking hard for them right now, that they just might, when they lose the T3 tower in the base, they might just decide that this game is over and just, you know, keep your head
Dire's
clean, go into the
middle
next
tower is
game,
under
forget
attack.
about what just happened, and try to play out the new game. Because right now it's gonna be really hard for
Radiant's top
XPC,
tower is
for
under attack.
Skarmory to find something
Dire's
back
middle
into this game.
tower is under attack.
Oh yeah, really, definitely on there. And a
Dire's
nice
middle
little deny
tower
there from
has
the
been
Rubik,
denied.
just lifting up the Tide Hunter, pushing him away. Gonna keep that kill up for himself. But one of the things that really stands out for me in that fight, Skarmory didn't get a single kill. Ravage wasn't used.
Yes, exactly, and that's what I'm talking about. When I think this is certainly in XPC International's hands to lose. Like, we can have big plays from Skarmory right now, and it wouldn't matter. But if XPC International goes to overcommit and deal some really big mistakes, then Skarmory could get back into this game. But I think it's XPC International's game to lose rather than Skarmory's game to win in this situation.
I'm gonna have to agree with you there. Just obviously the experience and gold advantage really does speak for itself. Over 15,000 in both experience and gold. The item progression is just of XPC is far outstripping anything that Skarmory is pulling off. We've also got a gem now on the Shadow Demon, just going to start denying all of that vision for Skarmory. So the Doom is trying to push in the bottom, but they need to be careful. Also, who's able to rotate around now? It's just the Mirana moving down.
And again, we actually see something we saw, I think, yesterday or 2 days ago, when we saw Mirana basically just farming the whole time, getting up big items and then, you know, smashing into the team fights. Usually what I've seen before is more of a Mirana running around and trying to make something happen.
Just blinks into the creep wave, but Skyriff is above him. And right, there is no way that Skarmory know about this. He's getting pincered straight down and just sort of across.
With
and
that blink,
yes. And if they get the Rod of Atos slow into the concussive shot with the Ancient Steel, this arrow is going to almost definitely land. There's no movement speed available. The extra magic damage will just be immense going onto this Doom. And then you're going to walk in with the Starstorm, you can have the Mystic Flare. This Doom is just hands down going to fall.
Yeah, with that dagger on cooldown, he's certainly dead, unless Miranda's mouse runs out of batteries, of course, but else this Doom is certainly dead, and he cannot blink out. He has his mag up, of course, but that's certainly not gonna help him getting out of this, and yes, he's falling to ease, and
I have to say that the Mirana wasn't even needed.
Yeah, she didn't arrow at all. She actually jumped in, used the Star Call, had a Maelstrom proc, but I think over time, Skywrath Mage would have been able to pick that Doom off himself, unless Doom would have used that Doom. And we have a nice blink in by the Shadow Demon, initiating there onto the AA, but they have to retreat out. Lycan popped his ulti with alongside the Necro 3, and Black Hole is up, same with the Ravage, so they could turn around to this fight.
The baiting out the Ravage and just sort of trying to fake that out. But with the Ravage up, and now the Rod of Atos, the Ravage is going to be used. That's going to hit the Lycan as well. We are actually going to. Do we have the Black Hole online? We don't even need it. How did the Ancient Apparition even die?
And where? Like in the middle of that?
Yeah, Ancient Apparition died just here. Now it's going to be the GG call out of Skarmory. XPC really taking this game in hand. We are going to jump straight into the second game, and hopefully it won't have too long a break. And we're going to keep up with the action. 28-minute win there for XPC, really sticking it to Skarmory.
Oh, certainly. They played a beautiful game here, and I'm looking forward to the next game.
Yep, so we'll see, obviously, everyone on the stream, everyone in game. We'll see you in a few short moments of the words that I am actually looking to come out of my mouth right now.
Okay, see you then.